There's a book, many of you know, Startup Nation, which is the story of Israel's economic miracle. It's by Dan Senor and Saul Singer. There are more Israeli companies on NASDAQ than all of Europe combined, more than India, China, Japan, and Korea combined. The book looks at how in this most unlikely place, this small country of about 7 million, they've pulled off one of the fastest growing technology economies that the world has seen by nurturing startup companies. My proposal for us is to make Akron the startup city here in the U.S. and be known throughout the world as Startup City USA. We use the lessons learned from this giant of innovation and commercialization, Israel, to improve the job opportunities for our people in the future while building our economic base. And I've believed that the success of our Global Business Accelerator and all that Dr. Douglas is doing, that we need a second incubator for the biomedical businesses that we are attracting. Now, we had some very positive meetings in Washington where Bill Considine, Joe Canfor, Russ Pry, and others lobbied for funding for new lab and development space, and I'm very hopeful that we will have the necessary resources to offer additional opportunities for new companies very soon. But with that, we need to fertilize these growing companies with capital. Today, I am pleased to announce the creation of the Akron Development Corporation Seed Fund. Now, I'm able to tell you today that it's just not an announcement to say we're going to create it. I'm happy to announce that we've already received, and Diane Miller-Dawson will tell you we cashed the check, $1 million from Medical Mutual, a business partner to many companies and organizations in Northeast Ohio and throughout Ohio. Medical Mutual recognizes the importance of our efforts in establishing a biomedical corridor and hub of innovation in biomaterials and commercializing products developed right here into jobs. And in addition, First Energy has pledged a commitment to also becoming an investor. And I'd like to give both of those corporations a round of applause. This seed fund will be directed at attracting early-stage, homegrown, and other biomedical companies from throughout the country and world to set up operations in our accelerator and in the Akron Biomedical Corridor, then help them grow into their own space. Now, let me explain this. We want manufacturing companies that are homegrown. 40 out of the 50 companies, with all of the publicity that we get when Marco, Bob Bowman, or any of our other folks, including myself, go to attract businesses somewhere else, 40 out of 50 of the companies in our accelerator are homegrown. But we can't ignite the huge potential for job growth, in my opinion, by not reaching out across the U.S. and global marketplace to get our fair share of investment and jobs right here in Ohio. That's why we need a presence on the global stage. Rochling would not have brought 123 jobs to Akron by a mayor sitting in the office without us meeting them on their home turf. FMI would not have received $18 million investment from China unless we had gone there to help support them and to convince them that Akron is a great place to be. We'll continue to aggressively market ourselves through trade shows and partnerships, including the Greater Akron Chamber, Neotech, Team Neo, Team Ohio, Summit County, and others. People need to understand that this year, it is estimated that direct foreign investment, reverse investment it's sometimes called, meaning companies from offshore investing in the United States, is estimated to be $237 billion with a B. Why would we let those companies go to some other place? Why not Akron, Ohio? We have the trained workforce that gives them everything they need here, and with the kind of statements that Rochling representative met yesterday, or announced yesterday, that Akron provided the best support to small and startup companies as anywhere they've seen in the United States, we can get our share. Why would we want to pass up that market? We have to continue to build the job base, both homegrown and by attracting outsiders. Just last week, Deputy Mayor Bob Bowman and Marco Somerville were in Qingdao, China, to sign an agreement with the Xifeng district on a future relationship that Akron will have with this region. Like Akron, this region is where rubber and polymer companies have clustered. And they're hoping for a long-term alliance that may see Chinese companies soon looking at Akron as a place they set up to begin manufacturing operations. Now, this is a very, very big deal that Bob and Marco were told by international companies, because Akron has impressed the Chinese decision makers in a way that very few American cities have done as quickly. As we did in Israel, we'll now enjoy a special relationship with China that bodes well for the development of manufacturing jobs in Akron. As I said last year in my State of the City, and you've heard me say it over and over, manufacturing jobs, I've been talking about this for 30 years. I believe that our country cannot be just a service economy. Shine his shoes, cook his dinner, sell him cars. That doesn't create wealth. We have to manufacture products. And I see Dr. Douglas, and I'm happy to say that he talks about that and talks about commercialization of research and development even more than I do. He gets it. If we're not creating the jobs here, it is in some ways a waste. So we are going to continue to work towards bringing those kind of companies here to build our job base for our people.